Hello everyone, my name is Aren. If you have never met me before, if you've seen me before, hello, welcome back. It's been a little while since I've posted, but I figured because I've been writing and releasing a number of songs, you all may want to just get a little window into the process and what it's like. So this will be the first of a series. Won't really be anything fancy, but just kind of me sharing some insights and showing you the process of creating the singles that I release. So stay tuned, hope you enjoy. All right, so the goal for today is to get at least the vocals and the guitar down on this track. And this song is called Stable. So a couple of the things that I have learned that I have to keep in mind when I'm tracking, or when I'm preparing to track, one very small but important thing, especially if you're collaborating with other people or you're using several different instruments, you've got to make sure that your instrument is not only in tune with itself, right, like the intervals of the 6 strings, that they sound like, right, but that they're tuned to like A440, which is the standard, right? Because let's say I'm just feeling lazy, so I just tune everything to my low E string, right? If I play all 4 of those strings, I don't have perfect pitch, so it sounds fine, but the whole guitar is then tuned flat. It's tuned to like E flat or E a couple cents off, right? Which means when I go to play it with another instrument, especially if that's an electronic instrument, like a keyboard or anything MIDI, right? If I'm playing in the key of E, it's gonna sound off, it's gonna clash. So I have to make sure that I'm in tune. My tuner is very low in battery, so I'm gonna use the last little bit of juice that it has to get this tuned. Another thing to keep in mind is your environment. If you didn't notice, this is not a recording studio, and it is also very echoey. Hello! I don't know if you heard that. That was my text. I just say hello into the void that is my empty house. It's not the best lead treated, so I've got my USB condenser mic right here, and then I have a little booth. It's like a mini sound booth. I think it's called a shield. It's like a sound shield. So it just kind of limits the amount of noise that can come in and be picked up by the microphone. Ideally, I would still want to kind of be in a less open area in my house, but upstairs the floor is super creaky, and this is really my only option. So, you know, working with a limited budget, it'll be okay. But yeah, the next thing I've got to figure out is exactly how I'm going to track it. Because another thing I'm learning is as I record and as I track the acoustic guitar, different types of instruments take up different sonic spaces, and you have to kind of anticipate what's going to take up certain sonic spaces. The guitar has to kind of take up a unique space and just form one part so that those other instruments aren't redundant when they play. So I'm having a friend of mine, Jonathan Wright, good guy, Jonathan Wright. He's playing piano for the song, and then I'm also going to be laying some MIDI drums over it. And so I just want to make sure that I'm playing stylistically differently with the guitar, so that the piano can kind of fill in those spaces. It's always kind of like, I don't know if this is how artists feel when they start painting a picture, but this is challenging because when you're playing it and singing over it live, it's almost totally different than when you're trying to record it. I have to kind of sing the song in my head. I have to imaginarily sing the song because I have to know where I'm playing in the song so that I, you know, because I'm playing the whole song instrumentally without anyone singing, but I'm used to guiding the playing with the words that I'm singing. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's challenging. So I've got to think through the whole song and kind of figure out how it'll sound. I'm going to practice and sing now, but this is what you don't see, and it's very tedious sometimes. Walking, thoughts ring out that I would like to be stable as sequoia trees, able to enjoy the breeze, stable if the birds can be. Okay, another thing I have to be intentional about is not letting the guitar sound when it's not supposed to. So I don't know if you heard when I go from this A suspended to up to this, what is this? This is like D, this isn't D, this is like E. It's like an E7 kind of, I don't know what this chord actually is. A bit of a bum lately. But anyway, it sounds that. I don't want that, it needs to be quiet. Every time it's gotta be quiet. So that's just, there's small details that really, really matter when I record, and makes me wish I were a little more diligent, trying to get a little more diligent, that way it won't be such a change from the way I normally play. The only other things I need to do are select the key, that is A, I think it's in 4/4, pretty sure it's in 4/4, and select the tempo. The tempo can be kind of difficult because when you play by yourself, you kind of have a varied tempo. You just kind of naturally like speed up and slow down, which is just, you know, life, right? But for a track, it's got to be the same tempo, unless it's just a live version, and it's not really a big deal. But because I'm sending this to other people, it has to be metered perfectly so that they can play along with it. So I've got to select the BPM, which again means more kind of playing around to see what tempo feels like. It's not dragging, but like it's also not going too fast. So yeah, let me figure that out. This is well, that's 120. That's definitely way too fast. Let's see. Let's try maybe like 100. Let's see. That's still pretty fast. Yeah. Ooh, squeeze me. Yeah, that's a little fast. Swell. Maybe 80. Let's check 80. Or maybe 90. Walking, thoughts weighing out that I would love to be stable as a sequoia tree, able to enjoy the peace. Okay, that's good. That's good. Let's turn up the click track just a skosh. Oof, it's extremely loud. Ooh. Alright, let's try that. Walking, thoughts weighing out that I would love to be stable as a sequoia tree. Let's try 85. Feels too slow. Walking, thoughts weighing out that I would love to be. Yeah, that's good. That's good. That works. So 85 felt a little slow, but it is good to go. Felt slow, but is good to go. Another thing that kind of sucks is that just your environment is what it is. You just gotta roll with it. There are birds that are extremely loud right now. I mean, they're Tweety chirping birds, so it just kind of sounds like ambiance anyway. But I prefer they not be there. Hopefully they don't come through in comparison with the guitar, but might have some little birds on the track. Tis what it is. But we're gonna try to get a good take. Got the tempo set. I've played through a couple of times. Now it's just okay. Now what my strategy is, it is nearly impossible for me as someone who doesn't practice every single day to get a perfect take in one take. So you do what's called comping, which is where you record several straight takes. If you make mistakes, you just keep going. And then what I'll end up using is the sum of those partial takes. So let's say I miss a chord at the beginning of the song. Or, well, if it's at the beginning of the song, I'll just start over. But let's say I recorded a significant part of the song correctly. I would just clip out the bad part. And since I'm playing at the same BPM, and since I'm ideally playing everything the same way, I should just be able to line those tracks up with different mistakes and just edit out the mistakes and edit in the good takes, or the parts of the good take. It'll make sense when you see it a little later. But yeah, so I'm not going for a perfect take, although that would be amazing, because I know my hands will get sweaty and they'll slip up, or I'll mute a string, or a string will buzz or something. You just have to get it in your head that I'm just gonna record this in one take. I'm just gonna play it all through. Win or lose, I'm doing it. And if I do that, I'll do that probably 4 times. And if it's 4 decent takes, then that's all I need. And then I can start comping through. So one issue that I'm running into is, for whatever reason, I'm having trouble hearing the click track. And so while I play, it's really easy for me to get behind. So a tip that I recommend, instead of turning the click track up high enough so that you absolutely hear it, you may risk it bleeding into the actual track. So instead of 4/4, it would be like, is that like 8/4? No, 4/8. It would be like 4/8, but I don't think there's a 4. I think, theory people correct me. Yeah, I don't think there's well, I don't have a 4/8 option. Let me see. I should just be able to change it to an 8th note. Okay, let's see what that does. Oh, that's perfect. That's actually perfect. Yeah, forget what I said. Keep the BPM the same. You'll probably confuse anyone you work with if you just double the BPM. Yeah, just change the value. You know what? If it's 4/4 and you're trying to get twice as many beats in the measure, switch it to 4/8. Because then you'll hear the click track in between the notes that it's just easier for you to not get lost. That's what I mean to say. It's easier for you to not get lost. Let's get back to it. All right, as I predicted, it took many tries. If you noticed on the time lapse, I wasn't completely faithful to what I said I was going to do. I stopped and started over a bunch of times when I was very early in the song, just because comping only really works if you have a majorly good take, and it's always great for momentum's sake if you can start out playing like the first portion of the song well at least. So what I ended up doing, and I'll show you. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit, but so I got 3 good takes, 3 decent takes. I'm going to zoom way out so you can see. So you see what I did, excuse me, a little airy. So this first take, it's almost all one. This is like a little bootleg shortcut. So if you record over it at all in Logic, it will I just realized I think I called it Final Cut at the beginning of this video. I meant Logic Pro. If you record over anything that you've already recorded in Logic, it creates a comp track, which is, I mean, good news if you want that, but it just makes it a little messier and more complicated than I want. So what I just do is duplicate the track that I'm on, and then just kind of punch in, like I'll like cut out a clean part where I can edit in later, like a guitar break or something, and then I'll re-record over it, not over it, but kind of over it on a second track. And so I have it on this alternate line, so what I can do later, I can zoom in. I'm not gonna do this now, but I can zoom in, I can clip right there, and then just drag this up into it. But what happened here is I messed up later. So I had to do the same thing, but back on the first track. Because my family is kind enough to stop their lives entirely while I record. So I'm going to try to get some vocals down really quick. I'm just gonna stand this one up and sing into it. By the way, the mic that I'm using, it's a Rode NT USB. I have an actual condenser mic that I probably should be plugging in, but I'm just very lazy. And because it stays plugged into the USB interface, it's just easy because the cord is, I'm just lazy. No excuse, I'm just lazy. So here I am all set up. Normally I like to keep some water with me. This is not sponsored by Evian, though. Evian, if you're trying to help a brother out, you know, get some diversity in your representation. Do they use commercial? I don't know. They're probably fine. They're probably nice and diverse. Got my water bottle. I like to stay hydrated because when I get into the repeat takes, voice really gets taxed. Normally, I also like to just have some tea, like warm tea, because I feel like warm water kind of soothes the vocal cords a little more. But I just don't have time. I'm going to try to get these down before my time runs out. Also, remember what I mentioned about how echoey it is here? I don't have a vocal booth. This shield helps a lot, but there's still a lot of echo in here. So what I found works, and you know, you just got to work with your environment. Having a heavier blanket would have been nicer, like a packing blanket. You could probably get one from like Lowe's or Home Depot. But I will just put this over myself when I record my vocals. I've held it up like this before, but I felt it works even better if I put it over, so it's actually like a little vocal tent, a hut, if you will. So it makes it a little, you know, hard because you can't really like move when you're singing, but with condenser mics, you shouldn't really anyway. You should try to be still and keep the same distance from the mic. So yeah, here we go. Okay, so would not recommend USB mic for series recording because sometimes the gain is a little funny to control, at least on the Rode NT USB. So there's no actual manual gain knob on the mic. So I'm trebled because it's clipping, because I'm belting out some notes here. And I'm gonna have to figure that out. Just wanted to let you know. All right, I have finished. Not finished, I mean, I got all the vocals down. I got all the guitar down that I need to send this track to the people who are gonna put some stuff on it. And that's a win. I went a little over my time. Family was very gracious, but yeah, let me show you. These are all guitar tracks. Those are the guitar tracks that I got. It's a total of 3. And then the harmony, sorry, not the harmony. The bridge is like the climax of the song. And so I was just really struggling to get good vocals there. So I got a couple of extra takes. I got four takes of decent bridge singing. So, I mean, I may have to redo some of that, but yeah, this is good. So all in all, a good day, feeling a little fluffy. But yeah, just wanted to let you see a little bit into the process. It is very tedious. I imagine maybe if I had an actual studio setup, the logistics would be a little easier. I would just be able to sit down and play. But you know, yeah, this is what it's like when you're choosing to work on a limited budget and still trying to pump out songs. So stay tuned, updates to come. Really hope you enjoy the song when it comes out. Yeah, see you all later. Bye.